Welcome to a look into the future. What would you do if you could go into the future and ask yourself a question? Luckily, we don't have to invent time travel. We can just ask the time traveler himself, Paul Latham, and learn from the knowledge we need at our firms today to evolve into advisory services and become the most relevant advisor to our clients. Paul brings three amazing things with him here today. Number one, he built a successful accounting practice in the UK, so he understands accountants. In fact, he built his firm into an advisory powerhouse, which sold for an impressive $45 million in 2001. Number two, he's taken a business public, built it to a market value in excess of $400 million. So he really understands what business owners need and value and what we as accountants need to provide to them. And finally, most importantly, number three, we don't need to invent time travel. We can just ask Paul and learn from the transition he made 20 years ago in the UK into providing business advisory services as that trend has come to the US today. I'm Garrett Wagner, your entrepreneurial CPA channel host. And as always, I'm excited to be joined by the legendary Paul Latham of Hay and Rock Solutions. Now, last time we talked about the three ingredients for success: vision, plan, and desire, which I agree are all important points for business success. If you haven't watched that episode, go back and watch it. But it got me thinking, Paul, how do firms get started with that process? Where's the starting point? What is the Hay and Rock system to help CPA firms do this to get into advisory services?
Hi, Gareth. Those questions about where do you get started, they always remind me actually of Julie Andrews and The Sound of Music and the words of Do, Re, Mi, which is you start at the very beginning, and it's a really very good place to start. So, when you read or when you learn to read, you begin with your ABC. When you begin to sing, you start with your Do, Re, Mi. And when you begin to strategize, you start with your now, where, how. And the where is the vision we talked about last time, and the how is the plan and desire. But obviously the logical place to start is the now. And the great news, you see, for advisors, and we learned this at Latham's 20 plus years ago, is that what most CPAs will find is that 90% plus of their best clients are all in the same place now. They just don't realize it. But they're in a place that I call the in-between zone. Let me explain how those clients get there. See, typically businesses transition through four growth stages. The first one, businesses obviously start up. They're in the startup zone, and that's pretty obvious. If that business concept or idea then became a success, those startups, they just, what I say is turn the corner and they move into the second phase, which is the entrepreneurial zone. And most businesses today have at some stage been in this entrepreneurial zone. And the business owners themselves can be characterized with adjectives, and I use them all the time: passion, zeal, zest, enthusiasm, knock down brick walls, make things happen. But above all else, I call them plate spinners. They spin plates. And the fact is that entrepreneurial business owners are great plate spinners. But you see, even the best plate spinning owner eventually reaches their limits. They can spin 15, 16 plates, but they can't spin any more. And they discover that style of business management makes it almost impossible for them to grow significantly without changing from that plate spinning style. And having reached that point, most business owners sort of then begin to try and build what might be called management teams. And what they're really trying to do is move from stage 2, the entrepreneurial zone, directly to what I call stage 4, the properly managed zone. But the truth is, they don't get to the properly managed zone straight away. That's not where they move to. In fact, the vast majority of small to medium-sized businesses, any business really, between revenues of 1 million and 20 million, i.e. 90% of most CPA's best clients, they move into this third stage. They're in the in-between zone in terms of their business. And they have some really common recurring problems. And the fact that we know where they are now, they're in the in-between zone, and we know what their common recurring problems already are, that really helps the advisor to get off to a great start in establishing the now stage. Does that sort of resonate with you, Gareth?
Yeah, it definitely does. And it resonates with all the clients I've worked with over the years at the different firms I've been at and the firms that I work with now. We got a lot of clients that some are successful, some aren't. But yeah, they're all stuck in that in-between zone of they're trying to do some things, but most of them don't have a clear vision or clear plan. And they're kind of stuck going through the motions. They kind of loop around. We see the same problems year over year, that kind of same cyclical cycle. So there's tremendous value that we can provide. We can help them kind of right the ship and get on the right path. They're going to be really, really grateful to us. So I'm curious to know, kind of with this common problem, what did you see in the past as these recurring problems, and how does it help the advisor become relevant? How does the advisor able to kind of transition through this and impact our clients?
Yeah, I think that's really true, Gareth. I think basically we can help the advisor in a couple of ways. And first, and really, really importantly, I think it helps with marketing to the clients. I see a lot of CPAs who market through what I'd call a narrow industry niche. And they may be, the advisor may well be really knowledgeable in that area. I'm not suggesting they don't market down that particular niche. But by definition, if you've got a narrow industry niche, then you also have a narrow marketing potential for that CPA. And as well as that, I think the CPA can aim specifically at what I call the in-between zone business, which is 90% of the CPA's clients, and in that way create a broader marketing potential, in fact limitless potential. And I think that's actually hugely advantageous for the advisor. But then secondly, in terms of working with the client themselves, because the CPA can anticipate problems and then productize the solution at a fixed value price. If you remember in a previous episode, I talked about boxing intangible proactive solutions. So if we look at the typical in-between zone business, they're going to have very predictable problems. For example, they're going to lack direction. They're going to lack leadership or management skills. They're going to lack a consistent value proposition. They're going to do too much for the money that they charge. So having understood those predictable problems, it's then a really easy step to create a productized solution to solve the problem. So for example, if the problem is lack direction, the productized solution is vision workshop, and so on. Hope that answers your question, Gareth.
Yeah, I like that. For all CPA firms, they want to feel comfortable being an advisor, and having more productized solutions is going to add that comfort. Just like now you have productized solutions, tax returns, audits, compilations, reviews. You've got productized services now. It's just a new pivot. It's a new pivot of the productized services you can offer to your clients. This is the kind of insight that I love picking up from you, Paul, of what you've already gone through and how firms today can apply this to make their practice better. Now, something else we both talk a lot about behind the scenes, we're surprised that most CPA firms we talk with are not ready for the future, and they don't even realize it yet. We think you watching today need to know where you stand. Is your firm ready for the future? Are you ready to shift into becoming the most relevant advisor? Take a minute of your time and sign up for your own free biz survey and get an objective assessment of how prepared your firm is for the future. As a special offer for watching the show, we're going to provide you with the results of your score and a quick pub meeting, as Paul likes to say, to review the results with the Hey Interact team. There's a link below, no matter where you're watching this on social media. Click on the link, fill it out. That's right. You need to fill it out today. See where you stand. Take the test. See how ready you are. Thanks everybody for watching. As always, click to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we challenge you to take action today to change the world and invest in yourself.